Hey guys, it's OreoSide here coming at you with one of my first YouTube videos ever, if not the first official YouTube video ever that I've made in my life. Why am I making this video? That's a great question. I am making this video because I want to make a YouTube video. The only problem is I don't really know what to make a YouTube video about or what my content's going to be about. And I keep overwhelming myself with all these different ideas, most of which make sense to me that I should probably, I don't know. But some of them I think I talk myself out of because I'm more so afraid of the public perception more than anything else. You know, the one thing that I can't stand more than anything is rejection. Why, I don't know, but you know, we're working through that. Anyway, so this video essentially is going to be a video of me talking about how I have no idea what the hell I'm doing for YouTube and my frustrations going into it. And in this video, I'm probably going to open up a little bit about some of my fears and insecurities. And yeah, you know, that might be something worth watching for. So let's just dive right in. I don't really have a script for this video. I didn't really plan it out. I have in my head bits and pieces of like what I want to say at different iterations throughout or different points throughout the video. But I haven't structured anything together. I am going to probably ramble and there are going to be long pauses that I'm going to probably edit out. But we're going to try to keep this as structured as possible. So I guess the easiest place for me to start is at the beginning. So for a while, I have been thinking about, hey, Oreo, you should do YouTube because it has a lot better discoverability than Twitch and, you know, might be worth a shot. I don't know. Same with TikTok, same with Instagram. Everything has definitely been thought about with me. But I ran into a little bit of a snag. I had a bit of a mental breakdown back in November on stream, and I kind of lost the mojo for a while. I wasn't streaming, I wasn't doing my podcast, I wasn't doing anything. And even only recently in the past 2 months have I returned to streaming for like one night a week. Assuming that I, you know, want to do it that one night a week, which sometimes I don't, sometimes I can't. But I'm kind of easing my way back into content creation. And part of that easing back into content creation comes from, or it involves getting comfortable talking in front of a camera again, which I seem to be able to do very well when I'm live, but when I'm recording a YouTube video, for example, I am not the biggest fan of because for some reason, I feel the need to always have to have like the perfect, like one take, one cut. I find myself deleting entire, like, you know, like the whole thing of what I created just because I screwed up one part, not realizing that, hey, this is YouTube, dummy, you can't, you can just cut it and, you know, stitch it together, right? So video editing has always been very intimidating for me. I don't know why, but it just has been. So it's hard for me to, I think I know why video editing is so intimidating for me. It's because I have to sit there and look at my face and hear my voice for a very long time. And this might be news to people. This might be a very new thing that you've never heard of before, that you've never like heard anyone ever have this insecurity, but I'm not the biggest fan of my own voice, and I'm just starting to get comfortable with looking at myself not mirrored because I'm so used to looking at myself in the mirror, but the way that I am when other people look at me, which is the way you're looking at me now, is how people actually see me. But for me, that I don't know. It's just, it's so weird because I'm so overly critical of myself and I expect so much of myself. I expect absolute perfection. And it's very exhausting for me because what ends up happening is I will burn myself out way too quickly, or I won't even get to the point of actually like making the video or doing the stream. I'll just not do it because I'm so overwhelmed by the expectations that I put on myself that I just don't do it. So somehow, some way I need to get over that. And I don't know, we're going to figure that out. Another thing, so you know, video editing is crappy for me because I don't like listening to my own voice on, you know, and having to like go back and listen to it over and over again. It's like, oh God, oh, I need to just stop being so self-critical. That's what I need, because nobody cares. That's the thing. That's like, even with this video, even with like, you know, what little or how much I may open up in this video, people aren't gonna care. People aren't gonna like use this against me at any point. And if they do, they're just awful people, because I'm trying to like kind of open up and break into a different medium here, and you know, but people are gonna do what they're gonna do. I can't worry about that. That's the other thing. I cannot worry about the possible negative backlash. Obviously, there are things that I shouldn't do that are very clearly going to give me negative backlash, but I need to stop being afraid of failure. I need to stop being afraid that, you know, I could have 5 good streams that are just amazing, high viewership, I make lots of money, I get lots of subs, new followers, you know, a whole shebang, right? But then I have one bad stream, and that's what I hyper focus on. I'm like, oh, it's over for me, man. I'm useless. I might as well just delete my channel. I'm garbage. I'm a waste. Nobody wants to watch me anymore. I'm not entertaining. Everybody would rather watch somebody else, you know? And I gotta stop doing that to myself too, because what therapy has taught me is that I have it's referred to as an internal bully, right? And what I'm trying to do with that internal bully that sits inside my head and is like, you're never going to amount to anything, Oreo. You're going to be useless. You're going to, you never, no one's ever going to like you. No one's ever going to watch you. No one's ever going to care about what you have to say. You know? That person in here, I am doing my best to try to externalize and just be like, hey, buddy. Get the hell out of here. But it's not as simple as, you know, just telling him to go away. And that bully, well, I had the revelation because long story short, there was a very bad period during middle school for me when I was getting bullied a lot. And middle school for me, well, let's see, I'm almost 29. So middle school for me was 2005 was 8th grade. So 16 years ago. And how old was I in middle school? I was 12, 13. I've been bullying myself longer than I was alive at the time, at the moment when I got traumatized by, you know, what people thought of me because of excuse me, all the stuff that happened. It blows my mind, really. It blows my mind how much power we have over ourselves and how much power we have in just like, really what it is, it's the reptile brain trying to keep us safe. That's really what it is. You know, we rely too much, especially after the pandemic and after lockdown and having to like retreat into our homes and our safe areas and everything. We're so accustomed to being there now, or at least I am, that it almost feels like I've let so much of my reptilian brain take control that now it's essentially like working with my emotional mammalian brain to convince me that like, hey, something bad is going to happen if you do this. If you make this YouTube video, people are going to laugh at you and call you stinky. And I don't want people to call me stinky. I smell nice. That's not even true. And I don't want that. But it's part of the game. It's part of something that I'm going to have to get used to. I mean, look, I'm used to trolls. I'm used to that. The thing that I can't handle is like legitimate bad criticism or like, yeah, bad feedback or like good, constructive, negative feedback. I don't know. You know what I mean. That's the kind of stuff that kind of gets to me because, you know, you put a lot of work in and somebody comes by and tells you like, well, I don't know. I guess if it's constructive, it's not that bad. As long as they're not a dick about it. I guess that's all that matters. Anyway, but yeah, really the main part is me. I struggle with pushing myself. And I like to tell myself a lot of that is because I come from a background where I have never really had to hustle. I essentially had everything handed to me. I grew up in, you know, very middle class Wisconsin. Only child. So, you know, add that on and what do you get, right? I definitely think that when it comes to content creation, there's a certain level of hustling that you have to be comfortable with and be able to do. And there's a certain level of self-confidence that you need to exert in doing so, which is not something that I've necessarily had much practice in because I've never really, like, I know this is going to sound, I hate saying this because I have worked hard for what I have, but I had it pretty easy compared to a lot of people. Maybe it's the white maleness. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. I never really had to worry about where my next meal was coming from. I'm very fortunate in that regard, and I understand a lot of people aren't. So I guess the point I'm trying to get at is I don't feel as though I necessarily have the discipline and the drive and the fire under my ass to actually push myself. But that's not true because other people have been in my situation and they're doing just fine with their content creation. They're going, you know, leaps and bounds. And that, you know, that's another thing. I think we look for excuses to try to justify why we don't do what we do. But the fact of the matter is we're just scared to do it and we're looking for excuses to not do it. That's really all it is. That's really all it boils down to. And it sucks because even sitting here now, I think about like, man, I don't want to like, I don't want to put in all this work and, you know, make all these YouTube videos and Twitch streams and do all these like events and stuff if it's all just going to fail, if like people aren't going to give a shit, if people aren't going to watch. I don't want to do that. I don't want to waste my time on that. But the fact of the matter is you have to try, because if you don't try, then you're never going to know. You're never going to know if you succeeded or not. And if you fail, that failure should not be a stain on you. It should not be, you know, it should be a lesson. It should be, okay, well, that didn't work. So we'll just not do this again, or we'll do it in a different fashion for next time. But if you never try, you're never going to know. And for me, this video, God, I don't even remember what I was talking about when I first started. But I guess the thing with me, the thing that I'm really trying to do is I just wanted to press record on this freaking camera. I just wanted to talk and I wanted to post it because I wanted to just, because that's all I need to do. I just need to do something. I need to do something. This video is something for me. This video is me dipping my toe in the water with YouTube. And a lot of people probably aren't going to watch this unless they know me, because why would any of you care about this? But if you did make it this far and you don't know who I am, I appreciate you for watching. I don't know why you did, but I appreciate it a lot. And I hope that something I've said gives you some sort of inspiration or kind of clues you in as to like the way that you think and the way you process thoughts and emotions. And maybe you can kind of use that to push yourself a little bit, or, you know, maybe help somebody else who's having trouble following what they really want to do with their lives. You know, some people just need that support. They need that push. They need that little bit of external confidence just from someone, just to tell them like, yeah, you go and do it. You go do whatever makes you happy. And if you end up making something of yourself out of it, good for you. That's a good thing that you did, and you tried and you succeeded. And that's what matters. So guys, I guess I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I'm sorry if it was a lot of word salad. But thank you guys for putting up with it. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know when I'm going to do another video again, but please hit that subscribe button. Something I'm going to have to figure out, right? Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next video, or I'll see you in my stream.